everyone. This is your girl, Qadriyyah Marie. It is Motivational Monday. I'm very excited to be back here on this show live with all of you viewers. Whoever is listening, whoever is tuning in, please just let me know if you're able to see me clearly and you're able to hear me very well. It's been a while for those of you who have been, following of my On the Q with Qadriyyah Marie podcast, as well as prior to that. Like I said, it's been a little while. So I'm actually live right now on my On the Q Productions page on Facebook, as well as my YouTube page for On the Q Productions, as well as Qadriyyah Marie's Instagram. So please bear with me. I'm going back and forth between this stream as well as the Instagram stream as well. So like I said, it's been a while. Thank you, Ty, for joining. I see you just joined on Instagram. So like I said, I'm just juggling back and forth. This is actually my first time doing the show in this new place that we're in. So moving here has brought lots of great, new, and positive energy. So I kind of want to bring that towards my show, as I always attempt to do. But feeling really good in this new place. So I just want to continue on with that positive energy. I know some of you may have seen my Facebook post that I posted, I believe it was earlier this morning, where I was talking about how you don't have to go out and purchase all of these expensive books that discuss positive affirmations, when all you have to do is, and I have it right here, is open up your Bible. Something that, that was told to me from the pastor at Ty and I church. So I'm feeling the idea of that, because I am one of those people who feels like I have to go out and search for things, in order to try to feel good about myself. And now, I'm brand new at this, Bible studying, but it's definitely something that I am looking forward to venturing more into. So again, Motivational Monday. I almost said Happy Wellness Wednesday. I used to do my show on Wednesday, so it's just out of habit. But I'm pretty much talking about, the same things, as far as my podcast topics go, health, wellness, fitness. Tonight, as you see, I want to talk about just a few hot topics that's been going on. It's just going to be me tonight, but, if anyone wants to come, join in and comment, or even, join me live right now, you're always welcome to come on. I always appreciate people who are watching, different guests, former guests who are watching the show, to come on and join me. And, we can talk about pretty much whatever it is that's on your mind. I love to have people come on and promote their businesses. So we'll talk about that towards the end of the show. But the start of the show, I did want to share something, a scripture that was brought to my attention from the women's event that I attended. It was actually called, I have it here, it was called the Women of Wisdom Ministries for a Night of Praise and Worship, Healing the Soul of a Woman. We had speaker minister Judy Shepherd, who did an excellent job there. So I just wanted to briefly read something that should be encouraging to anyone who's listening. This is from Philippians, I think this is chapter 4, verses 6 and 7. I'm going to share with you very briefly. It says, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be known to God. And the peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus." So I just wanted to share that, because that's my little positive affirmation for you guys out there. Thank you for everyone who is joining. I appreciate that, Ty. Like I said, I'm just getting back to the technology part of of using this. So I just saw your comment, but I appreciate that, babe. I really do. It makes me feel good. That's a positive affirmations. You know, Ty is my own personal Bible. I have the Holy Bible here, but he constantly is, you know, telling me the things that, you know, that I need to do, and they're always for the good for me. So, you know, I just want to tell him, you know, I really appreciate him. Even though I get on his nerves and I always want to listen to him all the time, I always know that, you know, he means well. So I really, you know, value everything that, you know, he tells me and stuff. So I just wanted to share that from the Bible. Like I said, I'm still learning. But, you know, tonight I just want to, like I said, briefly talk about these few topics. I don't want to spend too much time. I'm only going to be on probably for a half hour or so. But, you know, I just thought it was really important for me to get back into the groove of things. I had a few people tell me how happy they were to hear that I said I was coming back and doing a show, because they know that's been a while, and people know how passionate I am about you know, promoting others and wanting to help others. That's something that I'm learning is part of my purpose. You know, I don't know all my purposes, but I know part of it is definitely being able to be of service to others and being able to help others and being able to give back. So when I come across things like the scripture I just read, I love to you know, to share those things. Outside of that, I want to say, you know, rest in heavenly peace to one of my favorite actresses that passed away over the weekend, Shannon Doherty from Beverly Hills 90210, as well as Charmed, pop star icon. She finally lost her battle to breast cancer on Saturday. We also, unfortunately, we lost one of our fitness gurus, Richard Simmons. I believe he was 76. He passed away as well on Saturday. And also prior to that, Dr. Ruth, the sex therapist, has been around probably since our grandparents, you know, were living and are walking around as babies. She was 96 years old. She passed away as well recently. So I just wanted to, you know, acknowledge them. You know, they've all had, you know, influencement on millions of, you know, of people. And, you know, in a lot of sense, that's something that we all should strive for. It may not be millions of people. It may not be through, you know, do television in a sense or entertainment, but you want to be able to leave that mark with those that you encounter, right? That's really important, that when you do go, you want to be remembered for being the person that you were to someone. You don't want it to be negative feelings where, you know, you die and people are like, oh God, I'm glad this person is gone. I couldn't stand them. You know, they were never good for, you know, anybody. So you don't want that. You want it to be where people are, you know, talking about how much they loved you and how you really will be missed and how the world will be less, you know, without you, because people really do remember how, you know, you made them feel. It doesn't matter how much money, you know, you have, or how much fame you had, or, you know, all what you did for somebody, you know, financially. It's about how you made them feel. And I can attest to that, you know, others that I have lost throughout my life, the impact that they had. And they weren't the wealthiest of people, but their soul was full of wealth. So I just wanted to, you know, share that. The first topic that I want to share, I believe I'm going to go through a few topics. I was watching the news earlier with Ty, and I was just like, really, like, this is so many things that's going on, you know, both politically and military wise. I'm just like, this is crazy. I was even reading something about about poultry and what's going on with the chickens and this flu disease that's going on. And I'm just like, this is really crazy. And if you really sit there and actually watch the news like all day, it would actually make you feel like the world is just going to trash. Like, it's just really sad. You know, Tyra and I was watching the news not long ago, and it's like, we just saw one story, you know, positive story with, you know, school supplies that was given out to the community, and then it just went right back to talking to, you know, us about the AT&T breach, you know, that's happened. And I saw something else about Rite Aid, being hacked, and that story, people fearful of their information being leaked out. So I'm like, what is going on with this world? But the first topic I wanted to get into before I get into the bigger topic, I wanted to discuss, as you, I'm sure all of us on the East Coast is experiencing. It's a light topic, but it's not a cool topic, I should say. It's very hot and heavy. Um, we're going through the summer heat wave, and I was, like I said, just watching news to see if this was going to fade away anytime soon. Apparently, it's not. And the reason I'm bringing it up is because it actually is creating lots of issues right now on the East Coast, in the USA, mostly here on the East Coast. The West Coast is not apparently not as bad, but we're really getting hit. And they're sending out so many different alerts. I think tomorrow in Maryland is supposed to reach up to 110 degrees. People are starting to equate this heat wave somehow with artificial intelligence. I don't know how that's starting to come about, but I was reading online, and there are people who are now saying, because of this heat wave and the rise of artificial intelligence, that we're soon to reach doomsday. I'm hoping that's not true, because I still have a lot to to do in this world. But I just wanted to bring that up because it's just the way how people react to different things. Some of us, are sitting here, we're complaining about, the heat. And trust me, I've been hearing everybody, around me was complaining, from New York to Jersey, all the way down south. But there are others who are looking at it as, this is a sign of the end of days. Oh, excuse me. I had the AC and stuff on early because, as I just said, we're in a heat wave, and I'm sitting here, Ty and I, thinking about our light bill and all this, and I'm sure we're definitely not the only people, but at the same time, it's like we're fortunate that we even have central air, because there are people out here right now who are dealing with this heat, and they don't have the luxury of that. So really, in reality, we shouldn't be complaining about having access to that. The next topic that I wanted to talk about, if I can get this off the screen, obviously, you see on the screen, Trump's assassination attempt. I don't even know where to really begin. If anyone wants to comment or join. Apparently, all types of people have something to say about this. But I woke up this morning on my Facebook, actually yesterday morning and this morning. I woke up, and right on top of my feed is someone, giving their opinion about whether or not they think this was, a fake attempt, and how you have to follow certain news outlets, and how some are not telling the truth about it, or about any story, So I'm just like, I really, on this platform, or just in life in general, I really don't prefer not to take, any sides on it. I really am the type of person, I like to sit back and just listen to to what others have to say. And it's just really crazy to think about, and to hear all the different what should I say, conspiracy theories related to that. Almost similar to what I was just saying about people connecting the heat wave to artificial intelligence. I actually might do a whole show on artificial intelligence, because that's another issue with that, and there's also been a lot of negative feedback. But again, back to this Trump shooting. I'm sure all of you who are are watching, you don't even have to really even be on social media at this point to have known what happened. I believe it was 2 days ago. It's just really a lot to take in. Like I said, I really don't have an opinion per se on either side of what people believe. I've just been, like I said, listening to other people, and it is really one of those situations where you don't condone, you don't want to condone violence. No one wants to see anybody, killed, even if it is, Trump. But one thing I do have to say is, we really don't know, because we weren't there most of us, obviously, we weren't physically there. We really can't, to me, in my opinion, we really can't say yay or nay to whatever. But the facts that we do know is that Trump was, attempted to be, assassinated. This hasn't happened before. I believe Ronald Reagan was the last president who who had an attempted assassination. Trump however, is the first president to have this happen in the world of social media, I should say. So I think that is what's making it so complex right now, because you have all these people that have all these strong opinions about Trump, or about Biden, or about politics. Period. It should be an interesting day tomorrow, and when I go into work, I wonder if people are going to bring this up. Ty and I were talking about that earlier. Like, is this something that do people talk about this at work? Is it something that should be avoided to talk about? Does it affect your your relationship and things? And I think I'm probably in the future probably going to have some type of guest panel show, and just throw out different questions for people and just get their opinions on politics. We all have been told that you should not talk about politics or religion at work. And I understand why, because in this political age, this is it's definitely it's a very heated topic. Unfortunately, it's like I said, we really don't know all what happened, but as we things are coming about pretty much throughout the day. It seems like every hour there's some news footage about this. As we all know, was a young 20-year-old from the Butler, Pennsylvania area who was identified as the shooter. Trump got shot, or glazed, I should say, on the his upper right ear. It seems like watching the footage, he didn't even realize that that he was shot. So that I do, believe to be true. I do, for my own self, I do feel like he was possibly, was shot. Just from, from my own viewing. Like I said, I wasn't there, so I don't 100% know myself. But there was, a spectator that was killed. I believe he was a 50-year-old volunteer firefighter. He was actually shielding his family from the bullets, as well as two spectators who were critically injured. But I believe that they're in stable condition as of now. So those are things that we do know. We do there was killed within seconds, of the shooting. He was, I believe, on a rooftop around 150 yards away from where Trump was standing on the podium. But what I found really odd was the reaction of Trump afterward, throwing the whole fist in the air. I don't know if that was or will be taken as disrespect towards the Black community. I don't know what the purpose of him doing that was, to rally up the audience. People started chanting USA, and I'm just like, this, seeing that, I automatically knew the effect that would have on the American public. In an instant, I knew there was going to be, talk about this being fake, and Trump doing this in order to accumulate more, more voters. Right now, I'm still disbelief that he's even in the running now for president again. Looking at the date, today's July 15th, and it's like November, will be here soon enough. And tonight, there's the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee, and looking at footage, these people are walking around as though, nothing happened 2 days ago. They're just walking around, and Trump announcing his vice president-elect J.D. Vance. And I was feel a little funny about that, because my father's name is Vance, and I'm like, all right, we'll see how this goes. Of all the names, he has to have my father's name. He's a young guy. I don't know much about him. I'm going to look him up and see what he's about, but it's a very smart move on Trump's end. I also want to mention something that Biden said, which I'm sure is going to be tweeted all around the world, about Biden saying that politics must never be a literal battlefield. So he's definitely not condoning violence. Tonight, Biden actually has an interview with NBC's Lester Holt. So I may be tuning into that myself so I can see what's going on, because the last debate with Trump pretty much was bad. It was a lot of poor taste on Biden's end. I don't know how much that may have swayed someone who was voting for him to to vote for Trump at this point. I really don't know what's going to happen. I think my uncle was telling me the latest poll was showing that Biden was only 1 point ahead of Trump. So at this point, I don't think any of us really know what's going to happen the next few months. Like I said, the national convention is happening today, so there's a lot still going on, in the midst of the shooting. Trump is still scheduled to be there as well. So it's just going to be a lot happening. Like I said, the next couple of weeks and the next couple of months. So I guess we all just have to pretty much stay tuned. They're actually calling the shooting not only assassination, but domestic terrorism. I haven't heard that in a little while, but now they're, usually they relate that to, school shootings, but now they're using that term to describe Trump's assassination attempt. So I guess we all have to just stay tuned in to that. So it's a topic that you can definitely stay talking about. But besides that, I just wanted to, like I said, come on and just share with you guys. If anyone who is watching, if you have any summer tips that you would like to mention, or any tips as far as traveling for people. I know it's midsummer. Lots of people are, either traveling or they're still planning to towards in the summer. Like I am myself. We all need advice, as far as, ways to, save money, and different tips that you can give once someone, is, prior to going on vacation, and, of course, while they're there, what you can do to save money. That's the biggest thing, getting the most bang for your buck. I would like to hear other, couples come on and share what it is that, you have done, as couple getaways. It's different traveling with your partner versus with friends, or with a group or family, or even, traveling individual. So I would love to hear that. And if you have a business, I would love to have you come on and, just share with me your products or services and your story. That is the purpose of my platform, is to have others come on and share their different stories. I also wanted to share my link of my Cash App. I'm always, requesting this donations just to help keep, the show running, and to help me, make the show bigger and better than what it is right now. So as you know, it always requires funds. So that's my Cash App is at Qadriyyah Brown. Very simple to to find. Like, you just have to know how to spell my name pretty much. But I just want to thank everybody for joining. I did have another topic that I'm going to just share briefly. I don't hear people talking about it as much, but I'm sure those of you who've had children, you could definitely relate to that. I just want to talk very briefly about what's happening as far as childbirth. Something I didn't really know much about. I just have some notes here about how Americans are now spending more on childbirth than nearly anything else when they're in a hospital. And that's really crazy to think about, because we're always thinking about, the health industry dealing with, those who are, who are sick. But I just wanted to share that apparently they're talking about the average delivery is around $13,000. Even with insurance paying for most of that, families end up spending at least $3,000. And I have coworkers right now who can attest to that, complaining about how they had to pay for every little thing when their child was born. So I just wanted to throw that out. Apparently, it's something called baby profits that's been happening with all these healthcare companies from asking parents, from the first trimester, asking mothers, you know, for their blood and all these different things. And I'm looking at some notes that I have, and I didn't even know all this was going on with doctors asking for like stem cells and all that stuff, and how they're actually making a profit from that. Talking about how how C-sections actually vaginal deliveries actually cost less than C-sections, but you still have more than 50% of C-sections happening per different birth. So I was just reading about that. I just thought that was an interesting topic to talk about, how people are capitalizing, or the healthcare companies are capitalizing on new parents and their fear. And it actually ties into, people just agreeing to whatever their doctor tells them is best for them, no matter how much it may cost or how it may hurt them, health wise. They just agree to it. If you're a new parent, you feel like you have to pay for this, or you have to do something, related to, your childbirth, donating blood or donating stem cells. And they actually talk about, in this article in New York Times, they actually talk about genetic testing and how these healthcare companies are profiting off of that. So it's just really something interesting. I just wanted to share. I know it's not like a hot topic as much as a Trump's assassination attempt, but I just find stories like that very interesting, especially dealing with health. I have a little my own experience with genetic testing and things like that, but it's like, oh wow, it really can run deep as far as the incentives for certain hospitals, and why they perform certain procedures and why they charge certain prices. And they know how to get you when you're at your lowest, when you're the most vulnerable, especially after giving birth, to be hit with a bill for $10,000 or $13,000 is quite overwhelming for new parents. Thank you, cuz. I'm just getting back on here looking at my comments. I think you just sent this. I don't want to feel too bad. But thank you, cuz. She said, I'm so proud of you, cuz. I'm very proud of you too, sis. And that makes me feel good. Knowing, that I do want to continue coming back on every other week on the show. Tonight, I just want to talk about what has been going on with me and, these hot topics that's been happening. Tiana has another comment I want to share with you guys. She said, that's bananas. I think being a parent, childcare is through the roof. Food and formula, yes. It makes you wonder if they're trying to steer people from having babies. A lot of countries try to minimize reproduction in the world we live in. Yeah, that is definitely true. It does make you question that, because it's like, why are you overcharging people? Like what's going? Just healthcare in general, and I talk about this with Ty a lot. It's just we've been talking lately about how we have insurance, but yet we're still getting hit with these bills. It almost feels like I don't have insurance. That's kind of how I'm like, why am I paying every week for insurance, and yet I'm still being stuck with a $300 bill. I literally have a $300 bill now from a nasal doctor, and the heifer didn't even do nothing but tell me to take Claritin and Flonase, something that I could have done myself. But I'm like, no, let me go to the professional and get examined and checked out and thorough and all that, because I have really bad allergies, and here I am stuck with this bill. But no, because you're definitely right about that. There is a lot of stuff happening in other countries as far as reproduction. There's too many kids in other places of the world. But what I'm finding out funny with America is that there are more people now that I talk to in our age group who are saying they don't want to have kids. So that's another topic. Ties to healthcare costs out of control. Yeah, it definitely is. It actually makes you not want to go to doctor, and it can actually make you not want to have children either. Just hearing what I just said as far as the cost of delivery. and beyond that. But the thing is, it's like right off the back, you're already charged $13,000 on average cost for delivery. To be honest, a lot of parents came and live off maternity leave. They're working longer periods into 8 or 9 months. Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of that amongst friends and coworkers. They're actually working up until they drop until it's that that delivery day. And I always was like, God willing, if I'm ever forced to be pregnant, I would hate to do that, to have to work up until my water breaks. That's what it feels like. You literally just walking and until the baby's here. And I'm like, this is too much. And number for women, things happen where they're forced to go on bed rest. But like as you mentioned, Tiana, the maternity leave and paternity leave now, because nowadays, fortunately, we do have paternity leave for dads, but the maternity leave is not always that great. So you really don't know these things until the time happens. Wherever you're working, your employer is when you actually find out what you qualify for and what you don't qualify for. And it's like you almost have to ask ahead of time. It's like if you're anticipating to be pregnant, you actually have to find out months ahead what's going to happen. Like, how much time do I have? Do I have to use my PTO, my sick leave? Like, what's going to happen? Unfortunately, I hear a lot of people saying they have to use everything. They short-term disability, they have to use all of that in order to have the time that they feel they need with their child. I think one of the worst situations is you being yanked from your child after 2 weeks, and not having time with them. It's never enough time, I feel. But to have to be like, you feel like you have to go back to work because you don't have the maternity leave, I don't think is right, and I don't think it's fair for dads either. Ty has a comment here. He's saying most doctor visits require payments up front, straight to collections within 2 to 3 weeks. Yeah, right now, what I've been seeing, I'm like, they just gonna get their money when they get it. To be honest, yes, Tara, they don't waste no time going to collections. Yeah, Maryland really has it. Maryland really has it bad. Yeah, he said your credit will pay. Yeah, definitely, and that's another fearful tactic when it comes to health. The healthcare industry, they tell you have to pay this, and I'm starting to learn that with other industries too. But as far as with healthcare, they definitely will send you off the collection. You're like, I just got the bill, and next thing you know, they're saying you're being sent to collections. And at our age, we're really concerned about our credit. It's a huge thing for us. So that's a fear tactic right there, telling us if you don't pay, it's going to hit your credit, or it's going to go to collections, which will then hit your credit. So it's not right. Something gotta be done. We're going to need a president to come in, whoever it is, that's going to tackle this head on. I know there's so many different heated topics that's happening in this country, but that's a big one to me. Student loans and this whole and this medical debt and collections, those need to be prime concerns. Just the whole damn healthcare industry needs to be reconstructed. So that's my little take on that. Tiana said my core worked until 3 days before her due date. I was like, Jesus, yeah. Yeah, I've definitely seen that. And I'm like, sis, you need to go home. And these are women that have husbands and stuff too. It's not like, single moms, they actually have husbands and stuff at home. But they're saying that even with, with 2 incomes, they still have to go to work. They still will wait up until literally, like you said, 3 days before. Tiana says, girl, yes, priority. It's just a hot mess. This is the healthcare industry. And it's I hear the stories all the time amongst people I know not wanting to go to the doctor, even my own self. I had no choice but to go because I was stuffed up. You probably can hear me stuffed up now, but I had no choice but to go. But it's just like there are people who have worse conditions happening, and they're avoiding going to the doctor because they're fearful of their bill. And these are people that have insurance. I'm not even talking about those who don't have insurance. I'm actually talking about people who have insurance and knowing that they're still going to have to pay out of pocket they don't want to go to the doctor because they're fearful that, okay, my insurance is paying for some of this, but what about the other percentage? And the way these doctors' offices set up, they actually want you to pay something that day. You know, you can't be seen until you pay something, or at least put your credit card on file so that they can bill you or charge you later. So there's this, it's like no way out. And then if they don't charge you that day, then you get hit with this bigger bill that they say you only have a couple weeks to pay before you get hit with interest on it. Ty says insurance can be a benefit, but to whom is the question. I mean, I'm definitely, for having, insurance, but and of course, everyone's insurance varies depending on, their income size, their family size, what state you live in, your employer. There's so many different factors involved in it. But Tiana says copay up front. Yeah. And nowadays with insurance, like for my job, there isn't a copay. It's deductibles. That's the new face of the game. Is you may not get a bill that day, but you will get told that you have to pay this $1,500, whatever, $1,600 deductible before your insurance starts paying 80%. It used to be that the insurance pay 80% and you were paying the copay of 20%. Now it's like, no, you got to pay this deductible. And if you're like the average person who doesn't, get sick or doesn't have all these doctors, you are not going to reach that deductible until the end of the year. And then, of course, by the end of the year, that's when everything starts over again for the new year. So it's like, as soon as if you reach, the deductible, if you pay the $1,600 deductible, now here you go having to start over again for the whole new year. This is like a whole setup. Tiana says, like, what if I'm not pleased with the services? Yeah, see, they won't let you do that. They're saying you got to pay what you owe, whether you like it or not. Tiana says, I don't need to be in business for a headache. Definitely not a $500 headache. Yeah, it's like, it literally costs that. I mean, for one visit nowadays. And I actually test my own bill. My doctor charges $700, and then I'm being hit with $300. I'm like, who is these people? What kind of work is this? Maybe I should have went into medical. If I can charge insurance companies $700 for a consultation, that's the business to be in. And I hate to say that because I don't want to say medicine is a business, but as you heard me talk earlier about childcare, it's definitely a business. Tiana says the ER copay here with insurance is $300. See, that's crazy because it's like, what if you really are sick? You're actually going to take the chance of dying versus you going to the hospital and being hit with a $300 bill. And that's just the copay. That's not including everything else, including, the doctor themselves seeing you, your medication. God forbid you stay overnight, in a hospital, the IV costs or a CT scan, or it's just so many different things that's like, you don't even know where to start. You just pray to God that you don't get sick. I mean, that's the gist of it. To be honest, that's me now after going through it. It's a real thing. And it used to be, you just hear older folks say. Now it's younger people who said, I know I need to go to the doctor, but I'm just going to take that chance and try to take care of myself in other ways, natural ways. And I definitely am in agreement with trying to take care of yourself naturally before, you decide to go to the doctor. But sometimes you just have to. Sometimes you can't just do everything at home as much as you would love to do that. Tiana says, sitting here looking up self-diagnosis. Yeah, I have definitely done that and told the doctor before they even told me what I had, going on. They're like, oh, Qadriyyah, this is what's happening. Like, okay, yeah, I know already. I'm not shocked because I kind of diagnosed that before I even came in to see you. And they be mad. Doctors be wanting to be like, they want to be the ones to tell you what's going on. He said, I go for all my main appointments. That's it. Yeah, sometimes you diagnose your own self and to get out of paying, you know, a $300 copay. And I'm really upset about this with the nasal doctor. They charged me $300 for me just for one visit. And I had a follow-up visit. I told them, you know, I had to cancel. They said, "Do you want to reschedule?" I said, "No, I have to give you a call back." Them people is not getting a call from me. I'll just tell you that right now. And it's sad because at this point, you know, if I need something more, it's just going to have to wait. You know, so right now, if I had to go over the counter and pay my own, you know, Claritin, that's just what I have to do. So, because I said nobody has another $300 for a follow-up consultation. You know, and didn't even look up my nose at that. At least I would have felt better if she had at least looked up my nose and told me something instead of just hearing what, you know, I was saying. But you know, I'm glad I went, you know, despite having the bill. I'm really relieved that I didn't go that day, because I would have been feeling worse, I think, if I didn't, you know, go see the doctor. But I'm going to sign off, you guys. I appreciate you guys for coming on, everyone who's been watching on my Facebook Live, as well as on the YouTube on the Q Productions, as well as the Qadriyyah Marie Instagram. I appreciate everybody who has been, like I said, tuning in. I am watching, like I said, from both angles and stuff. Yes, Kai, thank you so much, sis. I saw you guys all joining. Unfortunately, I can't see all the Instagram comments until I go back and look while I'm on this platform. Tiana says, she said, "I'm definitely on a journey, juicing and trying to work meat out my diet." Yes, I haven't eaten pork in like 12 years. I don't do beef either, maybe like 4 times a year. Really want a lifestyle change. Yeah. And I'm really proud of you, you know, for that. Pork, yeah, I'm definitely not a fan of that either. I too am trying to work meat on my diet. I do like my beef though, but you know, it's not like it's impossible to do. We definitely can do it. People do it every day, but it's this mental, you know, discipline, and knowing that we don't need all these foods that, you know, we were raised up on. Our mothers and grandmothers, you know, fed us, and us thinking that we have to have this in our diet in order to have, you know, flavor, or even to have the right type of vitamins in our body. We're learning now there's a lot of different ways we can get the same stuff that we need, the same nutrients through other means that's more healthy. So, but thank you for sharing that. I'll definitely keep in touch with you with your journey, and vice versa. We got to hold each other accountable. Tiana says, "Have a great evening. Keep them coming." Yes, sis, definitely will. Ty says $100 if you cancel. Yeah, these appointments is crazy. This is why I either go or I cancel ahead of time. Like my follow-up I just mentioned, I canceled the appointment 2 weeks before, because I said, let me just do it now so I don't get caught up the day before and they're telling me, "Oh, Miss Brown, you can't cancel, you'll be charged," because then I'm gonna be ready to really kill somebody. Tiana says, "Killing us." Yeah, I'm gonna be killing them if I get hit with this bill and I ain't even show up to the appointment, or I do come to the appointment, pay something, and y'all don't resolve what's going on with me. So we can't have that happening either. But like I said, guys, I'm gonna head off. I appreciate everybody for joining as well on the Instagram Live. I'm not sure how it really looks from this angle. It's very different from what I'm seeing on my StreamYard versus the Instagram Live. I may come back later and just do a Instagram Live, not tonight, but another day. Do an Instagram Live, not using StreamYard and stuff. It'll just be straight Instagram. I am planning to get on other platforms and do lives. I have a LinkedIn as well, TikTok. I'm going to be working on that, as well as something else. So I got a few things in mind that I have to work out and get together. But again, like I said, I appreciate you guys. Yes. Yeah, you know I ain't right. So But again, I feel really, really, grateful. I just want to encourage you guys to stay in prayer. Like I know Tiana is, as well as Ty. So just stay in prayer, and I'll definitely do the same. So I just remind everybody to keep sweating yourself to a healthier self. I know my motto. I love to share. So just want to say, everyone, have a good night. Peace and love and blessings.